to my channel and welcome to another video, and welcome to my first video of 2021. Nearly said 2020. We've just said goodbye to 2020. Hello to 2021. I hope you're all having a great start to the year so far. Let me know if you have any goals for this year, what you've been getting up to so far, even though we're only a couple of days in. I would love to know. For today's video, as it is the start of a new year when often you see a lot of diet trends around, a lot of people getting into health and fitness, a lot of people with goals to eat better, do more exercise, all of that kind of stuff, I thought I would address weight loss versus fat loss versus muscle gain, as these are three very common sort of goals in the fitness industry. So hopefully from this video you'll sort of understand a little bit more about each one and the best approaches towards each one and what's right for you as well. Before we get into that though, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, something has changed. And if you're not following me on Instagram, then yes, I have revamped my hair a little bit. I have changed it up slightly. I've had the same hair for as long as I can remember, for a very long time. So I thought, you know what, it's time for a little bit of a change. So that is what I have done. It was a very kind of last minute impulse decision. I just thought, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's change it up a little bit, go for something a little bit different. So yeah, now we've addressed that one, let's get straight into the video. So first of all, let's talk about weight loss. Time and time again, people want to lose weight. It's all over social media. Hashtag weight loss journey, hashtag weight loss tips, all of that stuff. And weight loss essentially just means that the number on the scale goes down. However, it doesn't tell you whether that is due to your fat, due to water, due to fluctuations because it's your time of the month. It literally tells you nothing about where that weight has come from. So weight loss and a focus on the number on the scale can be great when you're at either end of the extreme. So if you're either severely underweight or if you're either severely overweight. Because that way, sort of doing either weekly or sort of every 2 weeks doing check-ins of what your weight is may be useful just to know that you're sort of overall going in the right direction. However, for the everyday kind of person who is in a normal healthy weight range, and yes, I say weight range because one, healthy weight can be so many different numbers, and two, your own weight will fluctuate a lot. So it won't be static, it will vary a lot depending on what you've eaten, your time of the month, your sleep, so many other factors, and I've done a whole video on that, so be sure to check that one out if you haven't yet watched it. But if you are that kind of person who's in a normal healthy weight range, then completely relying on the scales maybe isn't always the best approach. Your weight will fluctuate, and if you're just going for kind of minor changes, not sort of massive long-term differences, such as if you were severely underweight or severely overweight and you want to get to a normal healthy weight, then it can become toxic. You can develop a toxic relationship with that number on the scale, and like I said before, it tells you nothing about where that weight has come from. So moving on from that, we have got fat loss. Now, fat loss along with muscle gain is focusing more on changing your body composition. So this is regardless of what that number on the scale is saying, because changing your fat and changing your muscle, when you're actually gaining muscle, you'll probably go up in weight. Losing some fat, you might go down in weight. So the best approach for these is to not focus on that number on the scale. And fat loss is where, as it kind of says on the tin, you're decreasing your body fat percentage, you're losing some fat. Especially now at this time of year, there will be so many adverts for detox teas, fat loss teas, weight loss teas. All the kind of diet products, they're around right now, is their prime time. However, don't buy into them. There is nothing out there that is a secret weight loss tea, fat loss tea, any kind of product that's gonna make you shed those pounds as they would probably claim. In fact, the only way you can actually go about changing your body composition is by being in a calorie deficit for fat loss. Now, the problem with this is often people will take that as, I need to be in a calorie deficit, so I'm going to massively reduce my calories and massively increase my exercise. However, the issue with that is when you massively reduce your calories, yes, you may see rapid initial results because your body's like, hang on, we're not getting enough energy, and it's using up way more energy than you're giving it. However, over time, our bodies are smart. They're made to keep us alive and keep us surviving. So when we're on such few calories for such a long time, your body will adapt. Your metabolic rate will drop to match that new lower calorie intake level. So yes, you'll be at a lower weight and probably have a lower body fat percentage than you did originally. Your body will now have dropped its metabolic rate to keep you at that same weight and that same fat percentage. Meaning that in order to see further results, you'd have to further decrease that calorie intake, and then again your metabolism would adapt, and it's just this vicious ongoing cycle that can end up going disastrously wrong, and you can be on a very, very low calorie intake. So instead, the best approach is really to focus on your energy expenditure. So if you're currently eating and moving a certain amount and you're not really noticing any kind of fluctuations in your body fat and your general kind of appearance, then you're probably eating around the right kind of level of maintenance. So you're kind of in an energy balance. However, then if you increase your energy expenditure by increasing the intensity of your workouts, you're already now in a calorie deficit. And your body is already adapted to use this kind of quantity of calories, so by increasing your energy expenditure, you're putting yourself in a slight deficit without having to reduce your calorie intake and without having those drastic effects on your metabolism and your overall body health. Yes, you can also decrease your calories slightly. However, if anyone ever tells you to go into a calorie deficit, definitely don't go more than 10% of where you're currently at, because yes, that will already sort of have a few effects on your metabolism and maybe slow it down a bit, but beyond that is when you're really going to be having drastic effects on your body and really not providing it with enough food just to carry out its usual day-to-day functions. So really focusing on changing up your workout style, including more kind of plyometric movements, so more kind of jumping exercises, maybe some HIIT training as well, which if you're doing HIIT training, you really want it to be between 15 to 20 minutes, doing pretty much 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And by the end of that, you should feel like you have put your all into that pretty much. And those are great techniques using sort of more fat burning style of training that will really help to increase your energy expenditure during your workouts while keeping your calorie level at the same. But overall, in the long term, yes, it will be a slower process, but it will be way more sustainable in the long term and you will eventually see results. Then moving on from that, you have got muscle gain. Often people will ask, can you gain muscle and lose fat at the same time? And the short answer for that is no. You will generally have to focus on one and then the other. Because for muscle gain, you need to eat in a calorie surplus. And as we said before, for fat loss, you need to eat in a calorie deficit. So the two just simply don't match and don't pair together, and you can't do the two at the same time. So for muscle gain, as I said, you want to be eating a calorie surplus, because if you think about it, you're technically building new material. You're building more muscle. And if you're currently eating at your maintenance levels, then that means you're currently just eating enough for your body to carry out its day-to-day functions that keep you alive, as well as just your usual day-to-day movement. So that means there's no spare energy to be used towards building muscle. Yes, eating in the calorie surplus may lead to some fat gain. However, eating in the calorie surplus along with resistance training will also help you build muscle. You can't just simply eat in a calorie surplus and expect muscle to build. You're more likely to just build fat. However, when you pair it with resistance training, what happens during that training is you get small micro tears in your muscle, which technically sort of damages the muscle and puts it under stress. And then in recovery, your body thinks, hang on, I need to adapt to that situation, so when it arises again, I'm better able to cope with it. And that's when eating in a calorie surplus comes in use, because then some of that extra energy will be directed towards building that muscle and making it stronger, so that when you come to do that same exercise using that same weight again, your body will be better adapted and better able to perform it. Particularly for building muscle, hypertrophy training is a good way to go. So that's where you do 8 to 12 reps for 3 to 5 sets. And your last couple of reps should be kind of 1 to 2 away from failure. With failure being where if you carried on doing the exercise, you would lose form, you wouldn't be able to perform it properly anymore. So that's the kind of weight you should be working with when you're carrying out those sets. And then the final thing when it comes to building muscle, as I'm sure you all know, is protein. It's definitely important to have a good supply of protein in your diet, a little bit higher than the current recommendations. However, that said, you may not actually have to supplement using protein shakes or add any protein to your current diet, because a lot of people, particularly for example in the UK, they're actually consuming more protein than the current guidelines. And when you consume more protein, you simply just get rid of the extra protein that you don't need. So for a lot of people, you will actually be consuming sufficient protein already and probably won't have to adjust your diet much. So you can use protein shakes and add some extra protein sources into your diet. But if you're already having a good range of protein sources and eating plenty of protein, then it's likely that you're already consuming sufficient in order to help towards that muscle growth and muscle gain. So those were all the kind of main distinctions between those 3 training styles. I hope you have got something out of this video. It's helped sort of clarify each of them a little bit more, the right approaches to them and what each of them actually means. And also hopefully it's taught you that you don't need to take any kind of crazy supplements. You don't need to buy into detox teas, fat loss teas. all these kind of diet products which will be out on the market now. All it really is a matter of changing up your exercise and simple nutrition. So hopefully you have found this video useful and helpful. Be sure to smash a big thumbs up on it if you have enjoyed it. Also be sure to click on that little red subscribe button down below if you're new to my channel, as that would mean so much to me if you could do that. Also let me know what videos you would like to see on my channel over this next year, whether it's fitness related, nutrition related, general kind of lifestyle, uni lifestyle videos as well tying into that. Let me know what you would like to see, and also don't forget there is that notifications bell too that you can tap on so that you're notified whenever I upload, and I'll be sure to see you very soon with a brand new video. Bye!